Hi everyone, the Joyful Yogini here. So we're talking about relationships, and in particular, we're talking about communication. And I guess what I wanted to bring up is whether it's a business relationship or whether it's an intimate relationship, do not expect the other person to do things the way you do things. Do not expect them to think in the same way as to what is appropriate or what would be teamwork in whatever particular scenario. And so let me give you an example. A friend of mine, she had a boss that sometimes would want to go on these walking, talking meetings. And my friend would have these heels on, and her boss would always be several meters ahead because of their long legs and fast gait, I guess I'll call it, and also not wearing heels. And so she'd always be working so hard to try to keep up with them. And it would also be distracting because her focus was on, I need to keep up with them, as opposed to being totally in the moment of the conversation. So one day she said, look, do you want to see what it's like to wear my heels walking at the pace you are walking at? And then they had the conversation about what it was like for her. And they just didn't realize. They had no idea the type of strain or stress that they were putting on her and what it was like to be in her literal shoes, right? So then after that conversation, then they had that increased understanding. They were able to slow down. Now, when I do team building sessions, I like to do this activity called mirror miming. You can hear my dog. I think my dog wants to go outside, so I'll finish this quick. I do this activity called mirror miming, where I partner people up and they do an activity, and they're supposed to, one person is leading the activity, the other person is mirror miming. And the goal is to try to do it so well in sync that an onlooker or a bystander wouldn't necessarily be able to tell who the leader was. So that means one person may need to speed up, the other person may need to slow down. So that takes a lot with being in the moment and being compassionate and understanding of the other person and the pace that they're at and wanting to work as a team. So in order to do that, sometimes you need to communicate. Sometimes you're communicating through body language. Sometimes you're communicating verbally. Sometimes you're communicating through written word, but communication is so important to make sure you guys are on the same page. So you can drop a comment with maybe an experience of when you are working with someone, whether in a business relationship or an intimate relationship, and things were not in sync until you had that important communication. From my light to yours, namaste. And if you want to book a one-on-one session with me, or maybe a team building session or a keynote presentation, you can drop me a note. Have a great day. Bye.